world watched Beijing. It saw a display of power unlike any other. On September 3, 2025, Tiananmen Square was not just a public space. It was a stage for China's vision of a new world order. President Xi Jinping stood at the center, overlooking a sea of soldiers, steel. His presence was commanding. He was not just reviewing his troops. He was sending a clear message to the world: strength, confidence, ambition. Fighter jets roared overhead. Their engines announced China's arrival as a top-tier military force. The scale of the event? Breathtaking. Thousands of soldiers marched in perfect unison. Their steps were a single, rhythmic heartbeat. Tanks, armored vehicles, massive missile launchers, polished to a mirror shine, reflecting the leaders on the rostrum. But this parade was not just about China. Standing beside Xi were two controversial figures: Vladimir Putin, Kim Jong-un. Their joint appearance, a powerful symbol, a united front challenging Western dominance, carefully choreographed political theater. The three leaders stood shoulder to shoulder, a trio united in opposition to the United States and its allies. They watched with serious expressions, leaning in to share quiet words. Cameras captured every glance, every nod. Each gesture passed for meaning, more than a military review. The public unveiling of a new informal axis, authoritarian rule, military might, a desire to reshape global politics. The message was unmistakable. A new power bloc has arrived, ready to assert its influence. The spectacle aimed to overwhelm the senses. Sheer numbers of troops, advanced weaponry, the powerful symbolism of the three leaders. This parade was steeped in history. The date, September 3rd, was deliberately chosen. It marks the 79th anniversary of the victory over Japan in World War II. For China, this is a day of deep significance. It represents the end of what it calls the century of humiliation, a period of foreign invasion, colonial subjugation, internal strife. By holding this massive display on this specific day, Xi Jinping connects China's modern military power to its historical struggle. The message is clear. China has risen from the ashes of its past. It is no longer a victim. It is now a formidable power, capable of defending itself and shaping its own destiny. President Xi stood where Chairman Mao Zedong once stood in 1949. Mao declared the founding of the People's Republic of China from that very rostrum. In those early days, the parades featured a mix of captured American-made equipment, older Soviet-era weapons. The army was large but technologically far behind. Today's parade showed a stark contrast. It showcased a military that is not just large but also one of the most technologically advanced in the world. This transformation from a peasant army to a high-tech fighting force is central to the story China tells about itself. A story of national rejuvenation and incredible progress under the leadership of the Communist Party. The historical context is crucial to understanding the parade's meaning. Previous leaders like Deng Xiaoping used military parades to signal China's re-emergence on the world stage after years of isolation. But Xi's parades are different. They are more frequent, larger, more overtly nationalistic. They are not just about showing China's strength. They are about projecting an image of invincibility. They serve as a warning to any potential adversary, particularly the United States and its allies in the region. The display says that the days when foreign powers could dictate terms to China are long gone. Today, China sets its own terms. This parade was not just about numbers. It was about technology. China put its most advanced and intimidating weapons on full display. The world got a close-up look at the dragon's new teeth. For the first time, columns of advanced robot dogs marched alongside human soldiers. These four-legged machines equipped with sensors and automatic rifles represent a new frontier in warfare. They are designed for urban combat and reconnaissance, able to go where human soldiers cannot. Their presence was both fascinating and unnerving, a clear sign that China is heavily investing in artificial intelligence and autonomous weapon systems. The skies above Beijing told a similar story of technological leapfrogging. The J-20 Mighty Dragon stealth fighter, China's answer to the American F-22 and F-30, flew in tight formation. Alongside it were swarms of advanced drones, ranging from small stealthy reconnaissance models to large, heavily armed combat drones. These unmanned aircraft have become a key part of China's military strategy. They allow Beijing to project power and gather intelligence with less risk to its own personnel. On the ground, the parade showcased China's formidable missile capabilities. The most watched were the DF-41 intercontinental ballistic missiles. These massive weapons are the backbone of China's nuclear deterrent. They are road-mobile, making them difficult to track, and are said to be capable of striking any city in the United States. Also on display were the DF-17 hypersonic missiles. These weapons travel at incredible speeds and can maneuver in flight, making them nearly impossible for current missile defense systems to intercept. Their presence was a direct challenge to American naval power in the Pacific, threatening its aircraft carriers. Beyond the headline-grabbing missiles and jets, the parade revealed the depth of China's military modernization. The most powerful weapon on display may not have been made of steel. It was the image of three men standing together: Xi Jinping, Vladimir Putin, Kim Jong-un. A unified front to the world, a deliberate act of political defiance, a visual rejection of the Western-led international order. They collectively rule nearly 1.5 billion people. They command massive nuclear arsenals. They smiled and applauded as military hardware rolled by, their body language, camaraderie and shared purpose. A stark contrast to tense meetings with Western leaders. Behind the smiles, serious discussions took place. Official reports from Moscow. Private talks. Official reports from Beijing. Private talks. Diplomatic language for aligning policies against the United States and allies. For Putin, bogged down in Ukraine, facing heavy international sanctions. This alliance is a lifeline, economic support, diplomatic cover, a crucial market for Russian energy. For Kim, international legitimacy by association, an emerging alliance built on a shared worldview. They see the United States as a hegemon. They resent Western interference, human rights criticism. They want a multipolar world and acceptance for their governance model. The parade broadcast that shared vision, not isolated actors. A growing coalition pushing back against the West. Real-world consequences. Complicates efforts to isolate Russia over Ukraine. Emboldens North Korea's nuclear program. Gives China powerful partners in rivalry with the United States. The weapons rolling through Tiananmen Square are not just for show. They connect directly to conflicts around the globe. The parade was a giant open-air arms catalogue watched by military planners. Putin's presence underscored deepening China-Russia military-industrial ties. China stopped short of direct lethal aid for Ukraine, yet is Russia's key economic partner. It supplies dual-use goods, microchips, drones, machine tools. Ukraine became a testing ground. It highlighted the value of drones, artillery, and a robust industrial base. Those lessons shaped the parade's weapons. China watched Western sanctions and is hardening its supply chains. The parade signaled to the West that China is preparing for a long, high-tech war. Kim Jong-un's presence has immediate military implications. North Korea now supplies artillery shells, ballistic missiles to Russia. The arrangement serves all three. Russia gets munitions, North Korea gets cash, food, and potentially advanced military tech. China watches Russia being resupplied by North Korea, stretching US attention. The Beijing parade cemented this triangular cooperation. Beyond Ukraine, the display speaks to Taiwan. Amphibious assault vehicles, stealth fighters, massive fleets of drones. The parade was a stark warning to Taipei and the US. It showed China's growing operational capability. The event turned symbolic posturing into a tangible threat, raising regional tensions and accelerating an arms race. The dust has now settled in Tiananmen Square, but the world is left to grapple with what it saw. This parade was more than a military procession. It was a vision of the future. It was a future forged in steel, powered by technology, and defined by a new alignment of global power. The event showcased a China that is confident, powerful, and unapologetic. President Xi Jinping has consolidated his power at home and is now boldly asserting China's influence abroad. He is no longer content to be just a major economic player. He wants China to be a rule maker, not a rule taker. The alliance between China, Russia, and North Korea, put on stark display at the parade, represents the most significant challenge to the Western-led order in decades. While not a formal pact, they are united by a desire to diminish American influence. Their cooperation on economic fronts, diplomatic fronts, and military fronts creates a powerful counterweight. This division into two competing blocs, reminiscent of the Cold War, seems increasingly likely. But China's deep economic integration with the world makes confrontation far more complex and dangerous. The implications are profound. The era of unchallenged American dominance is over. We are entering a new, more volatile period of multipolar competition. The parade is over, but its echoes will reverberate for a long time.